So we had this new Game Informer article that gave us plenty of new news for Dying Light 2. There is some stuff in here that has been known for a little bit of time, so some info might seem like a little bit of a refresher. So I went ahead and picked out 3 topics that I think a lot of people would want to hear and gain more clarity and insight on it. So let's go ahead and discuss just that. The first one, fast travel, and I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say about this one. So after hearing what I have to say, go down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. I'm gonna read it. Now, if you've been keeping up with Dying Light 2, they have stated numerous times that they are really focusing on parkour and that all of the tools that are available to you to really help promote going about the city with ease, traverse through it very quickly, and mostly on foot. They really wanted you to enjoy the movement system that they created in the game. So when they were asked about vehicles in one of their previous Q&A sessions, they shot it down and said that vehicles won't be making a return because it would take away from the parkour aspect of the game, and many of us understood and agreed with that. However, in this article with an interview with one of the devs, it was stated he also added for those further areas that feel beyond reach, there will be a fast travel option available as well. And I want to focus on the part that says for those further areas that feel beyond reach, because this can mean 2 things. One is when those areas are just a long distance from each other. So let's say from the top of the map to the bottom of the map, they could implement fast travel there. If that's the case, I'm kind of against that. I don't support fast travel in that case because, like many of us have said, it will take away from some of the parkour and movement aspects of the game. The second option is that fast travel is set in place for areas that are unreachable without using fast travel. So maybe it's something like a sewer system or areas outside of the city. In that case, I'm completely fine with it. I'm all for it because that's really the only option, so it's understandable to have fast travel. I just don't want it to take away too much from it. At the very least, I think you should have to go to the location, go to a specific location in order to fast travel, kind of like what you saw in like Red Dead Redemption 2 and even in the beginning Dying Light when you want to change between the 2 areas. I think pausing the game and being able to fast travel would really take away from the experience, and I don't agree with that at all, especially in a co-op realm. And speaking of co-op, we got some refresher information in this article as well. So anybody just tuning into the channel or just getting back into Dying Light and you are a big co-op fan, do know that the host will be making all the decisions and anyone in their world will have to experience them. So all choices and consequences, they will stay with the host. They don't affect your solo campaign, but you get to keep all the player progression that you've made and all the loot that you've found. And this is exactly what I expected, to be honest. I'm glad that they're going down the route of just simplifying it and not making it too complicated. Kudos for them for that. A lot of devs, they like to go and micromanage on like what you have access to and what you don't when playing in a co-op realm. Like when you start introducing different factors and various things, like locking out content and all that, it can get quite chaotic. And to finish off, speaking of chaotic, there is nothing crazier than getting infected and having to constantly watch that biomarker of yours. Well, in the article, it also told us that the biomarker is permanently fixed to a human's wrist, and it's attached to the vein with an elastic needle that is constantly monitoring the progression of the infection. So yeah, rich and gritty details about how in-depth that monitoring system actually is inside your body. All in all, the entire article was really handy in obtaining new information. Also shared a lot of insight on a bunch of things that many people did have questions about, so I'm happy that they did it. But yeah, be sure to tell me down below in the comments what you think about everything. What do you think about the biomarker, fast travel, and co-op? I'd be happy to hear it. But anyways, that is all that I have for you guys today. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe as well. It all goes a long way. And with all that said, stay fresh, stay human, have a good night, and more importantly, good luck. What do you think she's thinking when, like, I'm just sitting up here looking fancy and recording videos?